Greetings, my name is Dr. Vaughn Gay. I am a native of Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm a member of the Emerging 100 class of 2014. Professionally, I am a doctor of social work, a licensed professional counselor, and a 10-plus year veteran of the field of mental health. Currently, I am the executive director of Holistic Atlanta, which is a healthcare startup that provides mental health, pediatrics, and ambulatory care for different communities around Metro Atlanta. Over the last 7 years, I serve as the assistant director of counseling services at Morehouse School of Medicine, and I also completed my clinical training right here in the city of Atlanta. As a licensed mental health practitioner, whether that's a licensed professional counselor, a marriage and family therapist, or even a clinical social worker, one can expect to make between $50,000 and $60,000 upon entry into the field. Of course, as a practitioner, you'll be able to kind of set your own schedule, which leads you to be able to create your own salary. And also, there are many administrative positions that you may be able to hold, whether at an institution, a medical hospital, or a nonprofit organization. What I love about my career is that I actually get to have the opportunity to create instant impact in the lives of individuals and families here in Atlanta. I think just being able to work with other practitioners that work in the medical field, it provides me with the opportunity to not only problem solve and do some detective work from a healthcare perspective, but I know that I'll be able to create some real life solutions and positive long-term outcomes for those that come into our care. So what's next for my career? As I stated, I've been working in the field in mental health for almost 15 years now. And so it's all about scaling and growth. We've been able to have the impact. We've been able to prove that our services and our program models are beneficial for our clients. And now we are adding to our clinical team and adding additional medical modalities to our healthcare brand so that we can expand beyond the Metro Atlanta area and scale out our impact to the entire state of Georgia. My educational journey to my career was actually a little non-traditional than most. Most individuals will go to undergrad and then pursue a graduate degree in counseling, clinical mental health, or psychology. They will take their licensing exam and then they will get their first experience working in the field of mental health. For me personally, I actually had that grassroots work when I was in undergrad. Working on my bachelor's in sociology, and I also had a long-term position working for a group home facility to where I provided immediate care for those coming out of the youth detention center or were in DFACS custody. I completed my master's in school psychology, my master's in education with a concentration in school psychology at the Georgia Southern University, and I moved back to Atlanta to begin my clinical training in 2009, and I sat for licensure in 2015 while also starting my private practice, which I referenced earlier. I completed my doctoral degree in social work at the University of Southern California in 2020, and those skills provided me with the know-how and the opportunity to scale our business and create even greater impact in our community. I think some really good advice that I would have for someone that wants to enter the field of mental health is just understanding your why. It can be some challenging work, right? We're working with individuals that have issues that society kind of casts aside. Psychology, behavioral health, emotional health, these are all very sensitive topics. And so having that drive, having that push, and knowing why you want to be in this space and why you want to impact the certain populations that you do is of utmost importance. I think the field of mental health is actually going to explode exponentially over the next 2 decades. 2020 gave us a very close look at how societal shifts can have an impact on all of us on the individual, family, community, and also workplace level. And so we just see how the impact of having a therapist, a counselor, a psychologist, or a psychiatrist on your team has really helped us be able to get through those tough times. And we see the importance of having them in our lives and having just different routines in place for us as we move forward into this post-pandemic world. In terms of giving back in the field, I think the field gives us an opportunity to give back every single time we meet with a client. I've been involved with a number of organizations throughout my lifetime, and knowing how just different nonprofits want to be able to have an impact on the community, it's such a blessing to be able to know that I have an impact through my regular business, and they can also take that and provide these same services to other individuals that may not necessarily be able to afford them. So we've been blessed with the opportunity to work with NGOs and governmental organizations and medical institutions to be able to offer our services to underrepresented populations and underserved communities. Working with an organization like the Emerging 100, it's put me in my own personal wheelhouse. I was a student growing up in DeKalb County that came up in a nonprofit organization that taught us a lot of different business skills, and I credit that organization to me being the man that I am today. It's just my responsibility to reach back down and help others transcend in this city that I love very deeply.